Welcome to the Shop Jersey Shore podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Mazuka. Today, I'm here with my guest, Trevor Manning from Suds Mobile Detailing in Toms River, New Jersey, online at budsudsdetailing.com. This podcast is brought to you by On Your Mark Designs. We're a digital marketing agency in Bayville, New Jersey, and we're here to help you find the best businesses and services to help you shop Jersey Shore. Please stay tuned for a giveaway at the end of the show. We'll have you answer a question about something we talk about today, and we'll send the winner a gift card to Suds before the next episode. Wherever you're watching or listening, please subscribe and follow the show. We air a new episode every week. And now for my guest. Thank you for joining me, Trevor.
Thanks, Lisa. How are you?
Oh, things are good here. So
Good, thank you.
Tell us about yourself. Who are you and what's your business called and where are you located?
So I'm Trevor. I just recently turned 37. I grew up and was raised in Brick, New Jersey. I live currently in Toms River, so I've grew up my whole life in Ocean County at the Jersey Shore, and I love Jersey. I know we're overpopulated, but you can get a little bit of everything. You're right in between two major...
I'm a brick girl too.
Absolutely.
Old brick or Brick Memorial?
No, I went to Brick Memorial just like my older sister did.
Same as me.
Yep. I graduated 07, so yeah.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so what does your company do? Tell us about your company.
So Suds Mobile Detailing is in the name. It's a fully mobile detailing business. So we focus on mostly vehicles, and in the future, boats and aviation, and have in the plans in the future. But basically, I'm aiming at the average person who just wants their car to be cleaner than just like going through a car wash. I mean, you see hundreds and thousands of cars go through the car wash. It's easy. You don't have to get out of your car, but you do need to drive there. So the mobile aspect is I come to you, whether it's at your house in your driveway. I do have water access, so I could come to your job if there's enough time in your workday for me to, finish the detail. But I envision mostly like driveways and, right outside their house. It's a mobile convenience that I really want to highlight too. It's like I'm going to come to you, bring the service to you. I use my own water and I have my own electricity, so I don't need to rely on the customer to do a service for that customer, if that makes sense.
So were you washing your parents' car in the driveway a lot when you were younger?
Yeah, I mean, I like power washing and cleaning in general, and I think, I don't know, when I think power washing is fun. It's almost like a game. You're using high pressure water to get gunk and grime off. I love it. I did it every spring for my family and our front porch, our fence, even our driveway. And I was laying in bed one day and I saw a video of cleaning and I, started thinking about it and I was like, wait a minute, I could probably clean a car a lot better than that drive-through just did for me, that drive-through car wash. And obviously drive-through car washes can create, paint imperfections and micro scratches within the dirt that's already in the car wash. You got so many cars going through. The details more focus on like, hey, we're going to completely, it's really about, it's really a change, honestly. You're going from what is now and you're completely changing it into something that it never was before or as close to it was when you first got the car.
So you mentioned you have water access. What does that mean?
Yeah. So I have a Suds trailer, which has all my equipment. I have a 75-gallon water tank that is strapped inside the trailer, and I have a water pump that feeds to my power washer, so I do have a fair amount of water access. I thought about maybe using customers' water, but I was like, I just feel more comfortable being able to bring the water with me and not have to rely on it, because I don't want that aspect to turn anybody off. Like, oh, he has to use my electricity and my water. Well, I don't know if I want that.
So exactly, that's good to know. Do you have an idea of what the average amount of water that you use when you wash a vehicle?
So it depends on the size of the vehicle. I would say like a Toyota Corolla 4-door sedan, it can use anywhere from like 25 to 35 gallons, maybe pushing 40. I would say a larger, maybe SUV like a Suburban, which actually is a pretty large SUV, could probably take 50 plus, maybe 60 gallons. I don't think any particular job will use all 75, but it really depends on the job, obviously.
You mentioned that you use a power washer, but it's not the same kind of a power washer you would use to clean the driveway or the walkway or grime off of stuff, is it? Like, do
Yeah,
you use
it's a
different equipment?
23 or 2500 psi power washer,
Oh,
but the type of nozzle you use depends on the angle of the water and depends on the strength of the water. So if
oh,
you're doing a vinyl siding versus a wood fence, you would probably use a different nozzle angle because the more that the water spreads out, the less pressure you're putting on the surface. So people think, oh, you're going to be using a power washer in my car. Wouldn't that just strip the paint?
right, right.
And you would think, right, exactly, you would think, but it's just the kind of nozzle I was using. So the wider nozzle would spread out the pressure over a bigger distance, so you won't have to, damage any paint or exterior.
What are the kind of customers that you really love to help? Like, is it mostly residential? You mentioned you can bring your equipment to a
Mm-hmm.
job, but can you help commercial clients too?
I could, obviously, I would bring a full tank. The
Yeah.
75, I would fill as much water as I could to start a job with multiple cars, like a car dealership, or on my way to work. Currently, I always pass. I'm not sure if you've heard of mosquito gel. They
Yeah?
do like yeah. So I think I drive past where they keep all their trucks every day off of 37 in Tom's River, and that has also sparked an idea of maybe approaching businesses that have, more than two or more. Even if they just had one, I'd clean just one. But if they had multiple company vehicles like that, I would bring my 75-gallon water tank, and then I would probably have to use some type of on-site water access to
That would
either
make
finish,
sense.
to finish the job. And I would obviously let them know, and they probably have access to water anyway. So
So small fleets might make sense for what you're
yeah.
providing.
And if they're just doing a quick exterior and it's not like a lot of water being used, because if they have multiple vehicles, they may just want to clean like a simple exterior. They may not want any paint decontamination or anything like that because they're not gonna. These cars aren't going into showrooms or anything. So I may be able to do a few, like 3 or 4, but just the one 75-gallon tank. So
But detailers is in your the title of what you do. You like to get down into the nitty-gritty of what you're doing. So an individual really that attention to detail and making it as pristine as possible is the
yeah,
beauty of
exactly.
what you deliver, right?
Yeah, and it's satisfying because we spend a lot of time in our cars, whether we commute to work, drive our kids somewhere, go visit someone out of state. We spend a lot of time in our cars, and I know how it feels when my apartment is clean. My partner and I, there's a decreased stress when the living space is clean and organized. So I figure when we're spending so much time in our cars, I think a clean car would be nice to get into, especially if you're going to work and maybe you're not really feeling it that day. Maybe it's a Monday and you had a bad weekend, but maybe if you just sit in that car for your commute to work, everything's kind of clean and it smells good. It may bring a little bit of stress reduction. Who knows?
Oh, without a doubt, there's a mental health component. Nice
A little bit, yeah.
clarity, good way to start your day.
A little bit, yeah. Absolutely.
I love it. So, what has been your personal favorite of all the cars you've cleaned so far? You're cleaning cars, trucks, SUVs, things like that at this point in the
Yeah,
business, right?
anything I can handle, I'll take on. It's just me for now. It's a brand new business. I do work another job, and one of the many purposes of the business is to be my own boss permanently and not just part of the time. And it's something it's mine.
Mhm.
When it came to the business, I realized very quickly that like it was my idea. I had a lot of help, obviously, doing it, but like it's almost like a child. It's your baby. It's like something you thought of. You spent a lot of time on it. You second guessed yourself many, many times. You thought about what could go wrong, what could go right, and you still did it. And that's like if you still do it after all, like the doubt and the second guessing, I think it's something special.
Definitely, that's the beauty of being a small business owner, right? Like it
Right?
actually becomes part of your identity if you're really invested in it. And I think that's why small business owners put so much working extended hours. You're doing it for the good of the system of your
Yeah.
dream. When you're your own boss and you're driving the bus, so to speak,
Yeah.
it's satisfying. Yeah.
Yeah. And I
And
think just like
motivating.
yeah, for sure. I'm sorry. Go back to your question. My favorite thing. I detailed my partner's father's car first. So he's a big car guy. Honestly, his name's on the business. His name is Bud. That's his. Everybody calls him Bud. So it's Bud Suds Detailing. Bud is awesome. He's won multiple trophies. When I first met my girlfriend, I went into their garage and I just saw all these trophies. And I said to Bud, I said, "What are these trophies for?" And there's like little car emblems on top of the trophy, and like he just detailed and worked on his own cars and just won all these car shows. And he's not doing it anymore because he's older now, but it's just really cool that he had a passion for so long, and that he just loved the attention to detail that he put into the cars, and you can tell by the awards he won. So he was the first one I detailed out of the back of my car before I had all my equipment. I actually used mostly his equipment and his power washer to do it. And just like he looked at me and he said, and it wasn't like, it was one of my first details. So I didn't do any kind of polishing or paint correction or decontamination. I just did a thorough job, and he loved it. And that sense of like excitement and happiness from him made me super excited. And I said, oh, I kind of want to capture that. And if I can capture that for other people, even complete strangers, I don't care if you're a stranger or not, I'm still doing you a service. And I hope you enjoy the service and appreciate it afterwards. That's the whole point of it. It gave me a feeling of, it excited me. And I said, oh, I like this feeling. Even though the idea originated much before I even, met them. But I think his excitement kind of like reignited that flame.
Wow, like the credibility that comes from someone who was so invested in a process that involved that themselves, that
Right.
they competed and won. And so that they know what they're talking about
Yeah,
and
it was
where
really
they're
cool.
coming from. So the fact that he appreciated the job that you did, that speaks volumes.
Yeah, it was a sense of like, it was a big sense of satisfaction too. And he was very excited. And it even wasn't even that dirty. It was, they're retired, so they're not, bringing
They're
kids
not
to and from soccer.
off-roading
Yeah,
at their
yeah, exactly, exactly. They're not bringing kids to and from soccer practice or anything, but like, it was cool. It was a good feeling, and I kind of wanted to capture that because I don't get that feeling, or I've never gotten that feeling from any other job I've worked. And
Excellent.
I feel like a service and a small business is the type of thing that can bring me that kind of satisfaction and happiness.
And what a massive way to honor him, naming your business
Exactly.
after him.
And it just
So
happens to rhyme with Suds, which it just really worked out in my favor.
perfect.
It did really work out pretty well.
So you mentioned a couple of services that you didn't perform on that first detailing. Can you
Mm-hmm.
talk a little bit about the services specifically that you do provide and kind of the way somebody might book what you do?
Yeah, so I didn't do any steam sanitation on his car. I didn't really need anything. There was no deep stain extraction I had to do. Um, if someone spills coffee, or if your kids are eating dinner in the car because you're running to an event and there's a ketchup on the in the back seat, I know I've driven my nieces around a few times. Actually, not a few times, many times. I have three young nieces who I love. They have stained my car. There's probably stains in there I could take out. So not to the point
Crayons,
where, and I don't
crayons
want
in the back
to.
seat.
I'm
Oh,
not throwing anybody under the bus. No,
no.
they're awesome. No, they're awesome kids. But
Listen,
I mean,
the
I've spilled
families
soda.
with
I've
little
spilled
kids
coffee.
that
Yeah,
gets their
exactly.
stuff.
And then if they sit too long, you may actually get used to the way your seats look, because some people, when you actually do the extraction, they're amazed, or sometimes they forget what the seats looked like, super, super, super clean. And the sanitation is great. The steam, steam is just water, so it's not chemical based. It's just super hot water, and it does kill a lot of bacteria, and it sanitizes surfaces. So if there's I don't know, caked on like food that's dried out, I can't just vacuum that up. I could chip it away, but I don't want to chip and damage any surfaces. So if I'm steaming it, it will loosen it up a little bit and be able to be wiped away a little bit easier and more effective. And the sanitation is great for like car seats. The steering wheels, we're always touching the steering wheel. We're always touching the shift knob. We're always
Right,
touching things
right.
with our hands, and our hands are always constantly dirty. So, I
So
mean,
is the
yes, you could clean it.
sanitation and
Mm-hmm.
the sanitization part, that's part of the service that is the whole detail, or is that an add-on? add-on? Like, how does that
The
work?
Steam would be an add-on.
Okay.
It's on our website. So there's our packages are on the website, and then there's also some add-ons. I do have an ozone odor eliminator, which takes away smoke, food odors. Now, let's say the car is completely clean. I steam the surfaces, so any gunk is off. There should be nothing on the surfaces that are creating odor, but there's still an odor.
Yeah.
That's where the ozone will come in and no, it just remove the odor particles from like the actual air that's in the car.
Maybe in
Mm-hmm.
the early mornings, now it's cold and
Exactly.
you're
Yeah.
using the heat where you weren't before, so there might be like a musty kind of
Right.
an issue. That will
Yep.
probably be helpful for that.
Um, I would recommend obviously not smoking in the car, but I mean, if that's people. Like I said, we spend a lot of time in our cars.
And we left the windows cracked open the other day in my mother's car and it poured.
Yep.
So when
I
the
did that to my
rain
girlfriend on accident one time. Yep. I did that on accident. I did
and
not know
it
it was
can
supposed to rain
kind
that
of
day.
smell gross after a few days if
Yeah.
it really gets wet.
It can get a little damp. And then, bacteria likes moisture. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you've been living and working at the Jersey Shore for your whole life, born and raised, local, clam
Yep.
digger from Brick, right?
Yep.
So what are some of your favorite things to do in Monmouth and Ocean County? This is the Shop Jersey Shore podcast. What do you like to do locally when you're not cleaning cars?
I'm a big foodie. One of my other passions is cooking. Um, when I first got out of high school, I considered in my early 20s maybe becoming a chef. But I love cooking, so I love to cook. We're having Thanksgiving this year, so I'm looking forward to cooking some food for Thanksgiving. I like an IPA,
Okay.
so I like to go to breweries and stuff. I like spending time at home too. My girlfriend and I have a little Frenchie, son, and we love our Frenchie. We see her parents often, and my family's right in Manahawkin, so I'm a big family guy too. But
Okay.
just food, drink, family, enjoy myself. I'm a big Giants fan. I am actually wearing my crucial catch cancer Giants hat today. So
Amazing.
I love watching football, even though we're not doing too good right now, but we have high hopes for the future.
Okay.
And I like
So,
cars. I love cars.
yeah.
If I won a lottery, I would instantly buy a few different cars and like little toys. I'm a big driver. I love to drive.
You mentioned a charity with that cap, something about a cancer
Yeah, it's
charity.
just the NFL's Cancer Association.
Okay.
But with Bud Suds, another thing is if when people see me driving around town, you'll see in the back of my trailer, you'll see a purple pancreatic cancer ribbon and two dates underneath it. So my mother passed away last year from pancreatic cancer.
Oh, I'm
So yeah,
sorry
it was
for
a.
your
I
loss.
appreciate that. Thank you. It was a long 12-month battle, but this business is not in honor of her. But I do know that she would be proud of it. I do know she'd be proud, and I did want to make a little nod to her with the small purple ribbon in the back. So I do have plans on like some kind of charitable give back. Once the business is really going and finances are straightened out, I would love to maybe pick a month, whether it's cancer month or pancreatic cancer month, and do some kind of like donation towards pancreatic cancer. And I've also donated in the past to St. Jude's Children's Hospital as well.
I love that.
Yeah,
Great
I
job.
think I think it's if you have a platform or you have a job or a type of income where there's extra money, I think it's cool to like give back to people and donate to a good cause for sure.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah,
So what do you consider to be really the difference between just cleaning a car and detailing a car?
I think cleaning would be a thorough vacuuming, maybe wipe down some surfaces, and maybe do like a contact wash on the outside, meaning you just grab your wash mitt and you just go over the surface of the car. For detail on the exterior, I'm a big fan of pre-washes, so I like to do like a bug and like grease removal, like a pre-wash, just spraying the surfaces to make the contact wash more effective. Because
Ooh,
if there's really hard stuff and you're doing a contact wash, some things might be loosened up, and I just don't want to cause any more like scratches on the paint. So
okay.
I rather do a pre-wash and get most of the big stuff off. So then when the contact wash it's almost clean before the contact wash, if that makes sense. But
Okay.
the contact wash is obviously very important. Um, and then protection. So after you wash this car, what are you going to do to protect it so it doesn't go right back to where it was right before I got to it? And in the future, ceramic coatings are very, very protective surfaces that you can put on the paint. They take a lot more prep than just washing the surface before you can apply them. But right now, I do have a hydrophobic, which means the sealant on the paint will just repel water and some dirt. Not all dirt; it will still get dirty. It's not going to be like a force field. But especially on the windshield, we know when it rains outside, even with your wipers on, you still have those water particles that still kind of stick onto the surface of the windshield. So any kind of sealant or protection on the windshield, particularly, will have those water beads just roll right off, and that will increase visibility, especially at night. And you'll have to use your wipers a lot less. I think that's where like the sealants come in the best is when they're on the surface of the windshield, so you
Yeah.
can see a lot better too. And then in the inside, I start up by blowing out any loose dirt with my air compressor, and then I go in with the vacuum. And then it's like a real paying attention to like the surfaces. Is there one small little spot on this carpet, but otherwise the carpet is clean? I don't want to miss that spot. And I would like to go over with the customer any areas that they think need extra attention, but I do a full pre-wash check. I want to see if any areas need more attention than others, especially the interior too. But like the door jambs, or when you wash the outside of your car, most people when they roll their window down after the car wash, you have that little seal is still wet and it drips down your windows. Like the small things, like rolling down the windows after you do the outside, so you can wipe off that extra water, or maybe even looking at the seatbelts. The seatbelts go over our shirts, and if we're eating while we're driving, which we shouldn't be, but hey, I've spilled some ketchup on a seatbelt before. It's still a material. It still needs to be cleaned. When I first started researching, I saw a video of someone cleaning the seatbelt, and I was like, "Why is he cleaning the seatbelt?" And then I saw the after picture, and I was like, "Okay, this guy's really going in for the details," and that kind of motivated me to like, I really want to focus on the details that you may not even notice.
So, because the homeowner might not know what to expect as far as how far you go and how long something like this might take, what's the usual length of time that you spend on a vehicle if you're doing a full exterior, interior detail job?
It could take anywhere to 3 to 5 hours. It really depends. Depends on the severity of it, and for excessive stain extraction, excessive pet hair. If you have a 3-row SUV or like a Ford F-250 that's just really really big, it's gonna take time. I mean, it's a one person job, and I want to make sure I don't like skimp over certain areas just to finish a job.
Of course.
I'm going to be in there until it's done. 3 to 5 hours, and that's not including like paint correction, which I will add in the future. Paint correction being polishing, compound. You're going over every panel of the exterior with a power tool to make sure the paint is corrected. So that does take a lot of time. You can't rush that because you have to hit the paint surface from all angles for that. So a paint correction could even be like a full 8 hour day.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that can happen in the driveway.
Yeah, absolutely. I do have a canopy in my trailer in case I know in the spring and the summer I don't want to certain chemicals can't be exposed to direct sunlight. So I thought
Okay.
about, okay, well, what if I'm detailing in the summer? How am I going to avoid direct sunlight onto the car? Because also a hot surface is hard to detail too. You need to cool it down. So I have a canopy. I try to think of everything that I may need in any situation because I don't want to have a client go to my website, choose me over someone else, and for some reason it's my fault I can't do the best job I can. So I want to make sure
Yeah.
all those possibilities are thought of. And I'm sure I didn't think of everything. I'm sure I'll come up with unique situations out there on the job,
Absolutely.
and then I could always pivot from there, which is the exciting part of the business. But I don't want to ever tell a customer no, I can't do this unless I
Right.
truly believe I can't. If I don't think I can deliver the service, then I'm gonna just have to be honest and say I don't know that skill yet. When I do learn it, I can reach back out to you. But I do also want to learn, obviously, as I go. I'm going to naturally. So
Well, and even though it might be a long job in the driveway
mhm.
for you to take care of, they're going to want you to do your utmost and deliver your quality service.
Of course, yeah.
They may not need to be home the entire time you're working in the
Oh
driveway
yeah,
if they need to go out and then come
absolutely,
back,
yeah.
that would work.
Yeah, as soon as I have like the car positioned in the driveway, I may just need to have them or myself move it maybe a foot or two over, depending on where it's
Right.
placed in the driveway. So I have, access to all sides of the vehicle. But other than that, it's pretty much hands off for them. Yeah, they can go if
Great.
they have another vehicle, they can go shopping, they can go about their day, and hopefully when they get back, their car will be finished.
Is there something about what you do that you wish more people knew about?
Um, there's a lot of effort involved in it. I think with cleaning services in general, I feel like it's just not cleaning. It's attention. It's also like I would like to be able to transform the space you're in when you're going to work, when you're going to bring your kids somewhere, or you're going on your first date with somebody and you're excited, or you're going out with the girls, you're going out with the guys or something. Like it's about transforming it to something that it was before or you never had before. I'm excited to even see people who buy a used car that's maybe lightly used or certified pre-owned. These cars have had a previous owner before. Now I know when you buy a used car, car dealerships have their own detailers, but I think they're just trying to get it to a point where it's sellable and it's clean.
Passable kind of
Right,
thing.
Pat. Sometimes, yeah. So like it's exciting. I'm excited to see more expressions like, "Oh, I didn't know this was possible," or "I didn't know it looked like that," or "This is what it used to look like. I didn't know you could even get back to where it was." Like those are going to be fun, and those are going to be the days I'm going to be working the hardest because the bigger the reaction, I feel like it's going to be the bigger the transformation. Meaning, I started with something super super dirty and it ended up coming out really really clean. If it's only slightly dirty and now it's just clean, there's not a huge difference there. When you have a
Yeah.
super dirty job and it comes out super super clean, you have that huge difference, and that's where the reactions come out, and that's exciting to me.
That will be exciting for them too.
Of course, absolutely, yeah. Oh yes, and
So,
obviously for them too, yeah, of course.
yes, I'm excited for you.
Thank
So,
you, appreciate
so
it.
how can people connect with you, Trevor? Let's get some appointments on the books and get you out to people's driveways to detail their vehicles. How do they get in touch?
Yeah, www. But I think I said too many W's. Budsudsdetailing.com. On the website, it really explains a lot about myself. It explains a lot about the business. You could contact me through the website. You could put in your contact information, any questions you have, and I will be able to contact you relatively quickly. They can call or text. You can call and leave a message. I always call back, but I do work a 9 to 5, so it's 732-600-4331. I can usually respond better and quicker with a text than I can a phone call. Pretty much right in the middle of pretty much middle of Towns River by the mall. The trailer's out there, and I'm just excited to meet people. Like I remember every job I've had, it's been in some kind of service. I was in the food service industry for a while. In my early 20s, I worked for a few years in the ER right here in Towns River and Community
Oh,
Medical
wow.
Center. Both my parents were nurses there as well, actually. So I used to be a truck driver, so I delivered food supplies to restaurants around New Jersey in the tri-state area. I just love being around people. I don't want to be behind a desk. I don't want to be behind a computer screen. I want to interact and see people and make them laugh or make them smile and just be there
Yeah.
and be around people. And I said to myself, how can I? So like I'm heading into my late 30s. How can I, someone who doesn't have a formal education, how can I still serve people but also make a living out of it and still be satisfied? I think the freedom of being your own business owner and being an entrepreneur is you don't have a boss. You're the boss. You're the HR. You're payroll. You're maintenance. You're everything. Which to some people is scary. And at first, when I thought about it, it was scary. Like
Yeah.
if
There's a
something goes
lot of
wrong and I
decisions
can't
to
fix
make.
it, right? Exactly. If something goes wrong and I can't fix it, I need to find out how to fix it. You need to try to figure it out on your own. So that part is a little daunting, but also gives a little bit of edge of excitement because you're being resourceful and you're relying on yourself which I think could be scary sometimes to be super self-reliant. But when your name's on a business and you're running it, it really is just you.
Yes.
And that does bring me some excitement. And I hope people can see that excitement when I do details and I interact with them. So
I'm sure that they will. One more question about
yeah,
the fact
sure.
that you're a mobile business and you
Mm-hmm.
deliver these services to your customers where they are. Where would that be? Where are you willing to go? What's your service area look like?
So I'm pretty much Ocean County. We're in Toms River, so Manahawkin is Southern Ocean County, and like Brick is Northern Ocean County. I would definitely go into Monmouth County. Depending how far it has to be, I might need to do a service charge for distance, obviously.
Yeah.
But all Ocean County, Jersey Shore area, as the word gets out there, if the word is spreading to further distances, I will, at that time make a pivot and, like I said, maybe do a distance charge, or maybe there'll be a second trailer or maybe a work van in the future, depending on clientele and, workflow.
Okay. Sounds great. So, is there anything that I missed? Is there anything that you want to let the audience know about Bud Suds?
No, it's a passion project. It came to me about 18 months ago, laying in bed watching TikTok and Instagram. I saw a cleaning video. Before I knew it, I was up too late looking at all cleaning videos, and one of them happened to be a detail. And I said, "That car looks awesome!" And just as a guy liking cars, it just looked really cool for that car to be that much different after the detail. And I said, "If I could do that, if I could pull that off." And then, during my mom's sickness, a lot of things went to in the back burner. And no, it's really a passion, and I'm a passionate person. I've never done anything like this before. I've never done a business. I think I may be the first business owner in my family, which is great.
Wow.
It is a little scary. I will say that there are some butterflies, but excited butterflies too, because I think I'm confident in myself. I'm confident in my personality as well. I know I don't want to hire someone who is, mopey dopey detailing my car. I would like to, bring some energy, excitement. People have bad days. Maybe on the day someone's getting a detail, they just had a bad day the day before. And maybe the detail makes their week or something, and I don't even know about it. Even if I don't even know about it, I think that's really cool. And if I could do that, that's great.
Agreed. Well, Trevor, many blessings and good luck.
Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I wish you and your business to be wildly successful.
Thank you.
I'm glad
I love
to be
this
part of your story.
Thank you. And the shop Jersey Shore is awesome. You were awesome in helping me with the website and everything. And I think this is a cool platform, especially for local small businesses. Like, we're not talking about Fortune 500, corporations. We're talking about very small. I'm the only employee. Jersey Shore, homegrown. I think it's cool. I really do. I think it's really neat to see people work at a skill. I think it's cool. Like, you see all the electricians and plumbers out there making a lot of money and doing a good service and doing a good job. And it also is about a good job. Like,
Agreed.
I don't want to leave and you look at me and say, "I don't know if you changed my car that much." And that's the last thing I want to hear. It's like, "Oh, there's not much difference, that I didn't do my job correctly."
Yeah. So then that brings us to our question about this episode. We're going to do a giveaway at the end
Absolutely,
of this
yeah.
episode. So first, I want to thank you so much for joining me. I think
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Lisa.
Great episode.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And I want to let everybody know that Trevor is generously going to be the person who is providing the prize for our giveaway. So
Absolutely, yeah.
why don't you explain what they'll get if they win?
Sure. So right now we have a full exterior interior detail. I'm starting at $250 to get started. It's going to be a good exterior interior detail. But for listeners to the podcast, we'll take $50 off of that to make it $200 for a full exterior and interior detail.
So the winner of the giveaway, that's so exciting, is going to get a $50 credit toward the full interior and exterior detail if they choose to have that service. What you have to do to enter this giveaway is to email me the answer to this question from the episode. Do you have something in mind, Trevor? Do you want to?
A good question for detailing.
I have one.
If you have one, yeah. What's your question?
Okay. So
yeah.
Trevor was watching a video when he was preparing to start this business, and he watched the person who was doing the detail clean a particular part of the interior of the vehicle, and he was wondering why they would bother to clean that. And then he realized
I didn't know the answer for a second. That's awesome, Lisa.
So if you know the answer, please email it to me, Lisa at shopjerseyshore.com. You can put the answer to the question, put Bud Suds in your subject line, and we will draw the winner of the $50 credit towards your interior and exterior detail before the next episode. I can't wait to find out who wins.
Awesome. Thank you, Lisa. This is great. My first podcast. It was a great experience. Awesome.
I love it. I love it.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Okay, everybody.
Course.
Thanks for watching. And remember to shop Jersey Shore. We'll see you next week.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Have a good one.